This is Tank's Vlog for March 28th, 2018. Tuesday night, I was at the NIT semifinals, courtesy of Stu Feiner. Had an absolute blast with Stu Source. I mean, it was tiring, but it was worth it. Got to see two great games at got to see one great game at Madison Square Garden. Met a couple of great people, some fans. Saw James Franklin, coach of Penn State football there. I mean, the first game was terrific. Couldn't ask for a better game. Utah, Western Kentucky, they traded the lead back and forth a whole bunch of times. Game was tied at the end of the half, at the end of the way they played in the NIT, third quarter. And it was like a one-point game all the way up until the final minute. I mean, couldn't have had a better game. Justin Bibbins, I mean, this guy was like a mighty mite. Reminded me of Muggsy Bogues, where he just ran around the floor, darted around the floor. At one point, Western Kentucky was trying to foul him, and they couldn't catch him to foul him. I mean, it was a thriller. It was a true thriller. Second game, not so much. Yeah, you're there. The first game, you're looking at, there's a lot of empty seats. There's a lot of empty seats through most of the first game, and they didn't sell the upper bowl at Madison Square Garden. So then the second game, as the first game came in, all of a sudden you see these seats starting to fill in. And you just saw one color as they're filling in these seats. Navy blue. Lots and lots of navy blue. And sure enough, when Penn State took the floor against Mississippi State, it sounded like you're in Happy Valley. That game, the only people rooting for Mississippi State were friends and family that must have came with the team. I mean, that was overwhelming Penn State home crowd. I mean, they just took over the building, and at one point it felt like just Mississippi State couldn't hit a shot and Penn State couldn't miss. Penn State, up until late in the game, was shooting three-pointers near like 69%. Very nice. And meanwhile, Mississippi State couldn't throw it in the ocean. Their field goal shooting was atrocious. They had too many turnovers, and just they got ran out of the building. And Penn State didn't shoot their free throws well. Otherwise, this game could have been decided by 30. It was an absolute ugly. But it was great. Lots of fun, and I look forward to doing more with Stu in the future. Now, to the NHL. Of course, while at the game, I had one eye on my phone. It's the nitty-gritty time. As there are just few games left. And the Devils needing every point to keep pace with the Panthers. The Panthers had those 2 games in hand. That's huge. So they got to keep the pressure on the Panthers. They still have a lead on them, and down 3-2, down 3-2 in the third period. The Devils scored twice and beat the Hurricanes, a team they must beat if they want to make the playoffs. 4-3. Kyle Palmieri, 2 goals and an assist. But Stefan Noesen, oh, what a great clutch goal. The Islanders beat the Senators 4-3 in a meaningless game. The Red Wings stunned the Penguins 5-2. It was the Blues 3-2 winners over the Sharks. The Predators needed a shootout to beat the Wild 2-1. The Jets beat the Bruins in a shootout 5-4, spoiling the Bruins' chance to take over the top spot in the Atlantic Division. The Stars needed overtime to beat the Flyers 3-2. Devils now just 2 points behind the Flyers for the top wildcard spot. The Blue Jackets crushed the Oilers 7-3. Thomas Vanek 3 goals and an assist. And the Vancouver Canucks beat the Ducks 4-1. NBA. Bad news for the Spurs. Marcus Aldridge went down today with a injury as they lost to the Washington Wizards 116-106. It was the Raptors 114-110 winners over the Nuggets. Dwayne Wade faced his former teammate and basically swatted a ball into left field, all against LeBron James, as the Heat won 98-79. The Rockets got their 10th straight win as they close in on the best record overall in the NBA at 118-86 winners over the Bulls. The Trailblazers beat the Pelicans 107-103 in a game in which very few fans attended due to continued protests in Sacramento. The Mavericks beat the Kings 103-97. It was the Clippers beating the Bucks 105-98, while the Pacers beat the Wounded Warriors 92-81. Right now, the Warriors are just a shell of their former self right now. They got too many injuries, though it looks like Kevin Durant should be returning later this week, possibly on Thursday. They need him. They need him in the worst way. They need to start getting healthy as the playoffs are coming very soon. Today's 3 stars are Thomas Vanek of the Blue Jackets, Damian Lillard of the Trailblazers, and Brandon Tanev of the Jets, who had a hat trick against the Bruins. Today's birthday shout-out goes to long-time Utah Jazz coach Jerry Sloan, who turned 76. And we take a look back to 1950, when CCNY became the only team ever to win the NCAA and the NIT in the same season. Check the full story of Barstool Sports at Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. Good day.